Money Masters, Episode 2, with Arian Rybrook and Alex Huditan. PeacefulRiches.com. Welcome everyone to Episode 2 of The Money Masters, and today we have a wonderful guest, my good friend Alex Huditan. And you might have noticed when I did the email that I asked a question, how do you go from a cubicle job in Romania, making €500-ish a month, to, in a short period of time, being able to travel the world, live continually once-in-a-lifetime experiences that people call, but you're just doing it over and over and over and over and over again to show that it's not once in a lifetime. How you're hanging out with Keens, you're hanging out with billionaires, hanging out with multimillionaires, you're doing all the things you want to do, driving all the nice cars, doing like just generally things. And one of the main things we'll probably talk about is like, how do you spot the trends that are coming up in the world? Because a lot of people spot the trends, but they don't do anything, and it comes and goes and nobody cares, but you usually jump ahead of it and profit from it. And then I also want to talk a little bit about personal branding, how you can use personal branding to your advantage to open doors, to connect with people, and many things like that. So that's kind of the topic of what we're going to be getting through tonight. When Alex and I talk, it can always go many, many different directions because we have many things to talk about. So, but the thing that I'm really interested in these Money Master series is the transformation from, it's like the limited version of you to what I think now is like the flowing free version of you. And I'm really fascinated by this, is like that version that just didn't, it was like, you remember, hopefully you don't even remember these days, Alex, but that when you're like, oh, I want to do this, but I can't, oh, how do I do these things? But then it's like, you're trying to figure out how to do it. And then suddenly you start putting the pieces together and life becomes more beautiful. You start to know yourself more and other things. So I'd like to begin with the journey. Do you want me to tell you a little bit of your journey, or do you want to get into like how it was from cubicle trying to find your way? Because you had a cool story there. I know some people know it, but some don't.
Hello, Davido, aka Arion. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. Yes, so I always love when people talk about me. So I would love to hear more from you. Yes, it's very nice. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because whenever I met you, it's like you did have an aura of prosperity in an odd way. Even if you didn't have the money at the time, you kind of like, you were always trying to put things together. And I think a lot of us are in that situation. You're always trying to figure things out. So you're at the events, you're trying to go to seminars, you're going to meet people. Like you would go and meet the speakers every time you could. Like even whenever we met, like some people know the story of how we met. Some people haven't heard that yet. So I was invited by Andy Secchi to be a guest at Business Days. And there's an event, I think there's like 500 people or something in that event. And I was up to be speaking after the lunch, and these random guys were trying to sell me suits. So I was like, even though we had like a buffet in our own room for the VIP speakers and other stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't want to keep talking to these guys. Sorry if they're in the call. I apologize, guys. You're probably very nice people, but I just don't want to buy a suit that day. So I was like, okay, I'm going to nip out the back. And I nipped out, and then I went quite far away from where the hall was. I went up walking. And sometimes this like a little thing of intuition, something pulls you in a direction you don't even know why that is. And I walked into this like food place, which is pretty packed. And then I literally just walked around, and Alex and I like bumped shoulders. And I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, sorry, man, whatever, how you doing? And then obviously he heard we were speaking in English. And then he was like, oh, hey, come sit and talk with us. Other stuff. And we sat and talked and come up with lots of different ideas over the next hour or whatever. But it's like, you were always someone who would just like take that opportunity and, oh, there's somebody interesting. Why not have a conversation? Rather than just be like, sorry, okay, see ya. It was like you always, like I saw you doing that, grasping opportunities quite a lot, trying to find interesting things to do, people to be around. And I was like, where did you even get that part of your way of being from, like seizing the opportunity and desiring to talk to so many people?
I think education and what I saw in my family, that plays a role in this as well. My mother has always been very friendly and open, and she was talking to everybody, and she always taught me to speak to the cleaning lady the same way I would speak to the prime minister. Mm-hmm. And I always felt very good about speaking with other people. And it wasn't even, I think it was a few months before we met that I really understood the power of giving. That if it doesn't have to be transactional, like if I need to help somebody, they need to give me something back. Maybe I can just help somebody and the universe will pay me sometime in the future, or it will never will, but it just feels good in the moment. So when we met, this is all like breaking down the psychology of a small encounter, but
Yeah.
I guess this is the story that I tell myself. When we met, it was also that I felt you are a foreigner, and I thought maybe this guy needs some help. Like, he's a foreigner, I'm in my country, I'm with a group of 15 friends. Maybe it's going to be good for him. Instead of walking around alone like he is now, why don't I include him in our group? It will be very good for him. And I don't know who this guy is. I'll just talk to him a little bit. Maybe we'll see where that goes.
I was sounding so cool in that story until then. You're like, oh, this guy all alone, walking around with no friends. I'm joking. I'm just messing.
Yeah.
But it was very,
yeah.
but it's a very nice thing that it's just like, because these opportunities come up, like just talking to whoever, just for why not? Because I know as long as I've known you've done that. You've always wanted to get to know people and everything, and get to know. And maybe again, you worked in the hotel and other things, and that probably helped a bit as well. But yeah, I really want to kind of start getting into like the transformation, because that point of your life was quite a pivotal point, I think, for you. You've been again doing self-development for years. I think you were running the Mondays group. You were doing like a self-development thing, and you did putting events on, and you were trying different businesses. But then in that sort of
You're
like
right.
2012, 2013, 2014, that was your big breakout moment. So like, what do you feel was a big change from you being a seeker to being someone who's actually living this life that most people are trying to aspire to?
Right. I think it started with the 4 Hour Work Week, a book by a guy called Tim Ferriss, and that opened my eyes to different kind of reality. And I started reading blogs about how I can travel around the world, how these guys were doing it with $15,000 per year. So you're only spending 15,000 all year, and you're going to all these hostels. And if you buy some kind of special ticket or plane ticket, you can like all this crazy stuff about how you can save money and travel. And I was thinking, oh my God, if I can do this 1 year in my life to travel around the world, not just a little bit of the world, but the whole world. I'm going to go around it and see it all. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And meeting you was the first time when I saw proof that that world is possible. Around me, I saw corrupt politicians. I saw pimps in my neighborhood making money. I saw different other examples of how people were dealing with a lot of money. I was also watching a lot of documentaries like Zeitgeist, and like the 1% are taking the money from the 99%, and evil corporations, and all these stuff that we talked a lot in afterwards, after I met you, were really making me feel very strange about what I want. Do I really want to make all this money? The government's going to take it away. Do I really want to live a good life? The kids are dying in Africa. How could I live a good life? In my newsfeed in Facebook, I had all these: donate to this child, he's almost dead. Donate to this shelter for animals. Donate to. And I was like, oh shit, the world is going to shit. I don't have enough money to help everybody. I would love to, but it's not possible. And I had all these feelings about everything. I don't know how to put it. And I think at the same, like almost at the same time I met you, I was also reading the Science of Getting Rich. Mm-hmm. And that was also impactful in my thinking. I had already started that process maybe that was also a seed that helped me to meet you. And us having more conversations and more meetings, that also helped me a lot to clear out these, like you were telling me then, mind viruses. And it helped to start having a perfect day. And it started having me starting to believe that I can through the challenges that I was doing. And I was starting to believe more that it's possible, even if I didn't have yet a way to do it. All the other businesses that I wanted to do, I thought in my mind that they are great and they're going to be amazing and so on. If you remember when we had different meetings then, I was talking about some business ideas like having limos in the city and taking people around with beautiful women, or just
You'd
showing
imported a car
around
from
Romania.
Germany. I remember you had a Ford Focus. It was on like the purchase plates or something at that point, or whatever, the pre-purchase plates.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
driving
yeah.
around because you're importing
Yeah.
them in to sell them out. These type of things. You were trying lots
Yes,
of things. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I had that business too, importing cars from auctions in European Union, bringing them in Romania. No, not so good business after all. No, no, no bueno.
Yeah. Lots
Yes,
of
but all
activity.
these things were very helpful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because everything builds upon every other thing. Like the more businesses we try, the more you know what works, what doesn't work, and other things. So I hope you're starting to see, like, what I want in these conversations is people to see the overlap of the things that kind of like we're doing over and over again. Because things we skip past there that I want to get to as well is like, you came to my seminars first of all, like that was a thing. We came, and that's whenever we gave you the challenges: go to the luxury stores, go drive the Porsche. I want to get to that story in a little minute. Go, like, reach out to celebrities, do these type of things, like things to get you out your comfort zone that Veronica was talking about in the last call, and things that she did to sort of expand her possibility, expand her consciousness. But even then, lots of people, they did the activities, but then after the seminar they went home. But Alex doesn't do that. Alex does a different thing. When he notices a speaker, someone he can spend time with, like, what's your strategy usually? Say you're at an event and you notice there's someone interesting there. Like, what's your strategy for in that situation? You know where I'm going with this, I guess. I'm leading it kind of
There's
like.
different there's different strategies all the time, but right now, if I look at the people that I'm surrounded by, my closest friends are people that I looked up to, and I thought, oh my God, if only I could talk to them. And not only that I was talking to them, now they're very close friends, like Jesse Elder, like Matteo, like Satyarthi, my Tantra teacher. Like all these guys that I met in the last few years, and I really felt like, wow, I'm inspired. I feel so, in a way, honored to be in their presence. So every time it was different. With you, I invited you to lunch at that time, and then I used what I knew best, which was my city, to show you around,
Yeah, because
to
remember
be
you
a
saying it
good
was like,
to be a good host.
I know all the best places. Like, I'll come pick you up at the hotel. You don't worry about it. I'll take you. You know, the best food place. If you want Indian, we'll get the best Indian there. I know this little dessert
Yes,
place is on this side street. It's going to blow your mind. Be incredible. I'm like, done. Yeah,
yes,
no
yes,
brainer. Be of
yes.
service.
Maybe also because I was listening to, like, I love marketing. Maybe because I was already going to some meetups about entrepreneurship, marketing. I could taste it already, and I was using that on you too. Like, man, I have this thing. How can I present it? How can I sell it well to you so you would be excited to spend time with me? Not in a sleazy way, like get to your like this to your leg and be
Yeah.
like, I'm not leaving. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just like a no-brainer offer. It's like what they always talk about, the mafia offer that I love marketing guys. It's just like, that's just a brilliant offer. It's like, wait, I don't have, because I'm thinking like, if you're in a city by yourself, again, traveling, doing the events, it's just like, what am I going to do tonight? It's like, oh, I'll take you, I'll pick you up, I'll show you the good place. It's like, boom, amazing, love it. And it's like,
Yeah.
so a lot of people are just terrified to even, like, a lot of people, even they want to go out for food after, but, and I invite people and they're like, but is that me also? Or was that the other people? And it's like, yes, it's you also. You could, come on. And a lot of people are just scared to like step up because you have the other story. Like, tell the story about Laurand. For any of you who don't know, I think Laurand, I think he's probably currently the biggest, most popular speaker in Romania, right? I think he's got like
Yeah.
somewhere around there. He's like 500,000 followers now, or something on Instagram or in Facebook, whatever. So,
Yeah,
that,
he's one of the most popular for
yeah,
sure. Yes. So I was at the conference and he was speaking. He was speaking on stage. It was huge. The event was like 1,000 people at least, maybe 1,500. So a lot of people. And on stage, he said towards the end of his speech, he said something like, "And I'm here in Bucharest, but I live now in Cluj." And it's like 400 kilometers, something like this. And he said, after I'm done here, I will just get in my car and drive to Cluj. If any of you need a ride to Cluj, I have 3 seats left. So if anybody, just come to the stage and we will go together. And I thought everybody, I really thought everybody will understand this opportunity. And I just jumped from my seat, boom, and started running, didn't look left or right. I was jumping in the middle. I was looking at him because he was still on stage there. And then because it was a long way, I start to look a little bit around and there's nobody else running. I'm like, this is weird. This is weird. Okay, I'm getting closer. Maybe I didn't understand. I was thinking I'm like I didn't understand right. Maybe it was for somebody anyway. He finishes. He comes down and he says, "You're going to Cluj?" And I said, "I am going with you." And he said, "Yes, great. Let's do it." We get in in about half an hour. I don't know, maybe even more, an hour. We get in the car. And he says, "Okay, where are you going in Cluj?" And I said, "Actually, I don't know if I can go to Cluj, but I thought this was an amazing opportunity to spend time with you, one-to-one in the car. So maybe if we can drive 2-3 hours, and then you can drop me off in a city, and I can take the train back." And he was so impressed by this. He was like, "Wow, I can't believe you did that, man." And I did. We went to Brasov. It was like 2 hours and a half away. Mm-hmm. And he dropped me off at the train station. He was very nice. And he also told me, "If you ever need something, let me know. I am very happy to help you. Doesn't matter. Let me know." Mm-hmm. Even from when I got off the car, I was thinking, I don't know what to ask. Like, I have no idea. I don't know, but maybe someday.
You thought of something one day, it turned out.
Exactly. Like 2 years after that, even 3, I think it was, we decided to do this course in Romania about Amazon FBA. And I messaged Laurand and I said, "Hey, remember me? Would you like to promote our course?" And he said, "Sure, let's do it." And he was our biggest affiliate for the all versions and editions of the course that we had. Yeah, he brought in hundreds of people.
Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know the numbers of that, people were paying like between 1,000 and 1,500 per sign up, right? So he brought in, like you say,
1,500 promote.
Yeah. So hundreds of people times that amount, you can do the math. That's quite a good affiliate. So I think he did pretty well from it as well. So yeah, because I remember he was telling me about that, like, because I invited him to come stay at my house. He stayed when he came to Spain. He stayed here, and straight away he told me that story about you in the car. And he was still, it's one of those things that sticks in their mind. He's just like, "Oh, this guy, oh yeah." And then he talked about, how much I think he bought like a brand new car with all the affiliate, probably way more than that from the affiliate deals he did with you. And it was just like, at the beginning, when you're starting out, you don't know how these relationships over time will build, but it's like 1,500 other people did nothing. You went and sowed the seeds. Now you had a contact, and then when you reach out to him, it's not like cold, some random person. Hey, can you sell my course? It's like no, but it's like, hey, remember me from the car? Can you help me with my course? It's like boom. Now you, and it's like these little things. It's just like this is a difference between the people who do great things in life and the people who don't do great. It's those. That's not even. It's not a big action. Like how much that was like 2 hours of your life, 2 hours the other way, but it's that little, those moves that we call big moves, but it's kind of small moves at the time. That's the difference between the people who get the life they want and the people who don't. And that's why hopefully you don't think this is, oh, it's a cute little story. This is a way of being. It's what I think a lot of these things is like, you just take an opportunity when it's there. As you're saying, is like with Matteo, you read his book, Mind Made Prison, in like 2012,
Yeah,
2013
like
or something.
12 years ago. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even know how many years ago. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And you love that.
Yes, it became one of my favorite books. It's called The Mind Made Prison, guys. Very good book. Check it out. And like it was 2020, and I read the book again, and I thought, I love this book. Why did I never look up the author on Google? And I looked him up, and I saw a picture, and then I saw a Facebook. Like, look, this guy has a Facebook page, not Facebook profile, but page. I was like, very nice. I'm gonna send a message to tell him what an amazing book he wrote. And I started to write the message. I wrote a bigger message, not too long, but just like from the heart, like how impactful it was in my life, and how I read it again, and I read it with new eyes. And he replied, thank you, and so on. And I said, wow, thank you very much for replying. Maybe you're also doing some coaching or something like this. And he said, actually, yes, I am. Would you like to have like a session to see if we're a good fit? Yes. And then for the next 3 months, I did coaching with Matteo, which was amazing. And in this process, we also became friends. Mm-hmm. And I helped him with some things during the pandemic. And for those things to happen, I invited him to Romania, even if I was in Bali. And he stayed at my house. And I also told him he can use my car, but he didn't want to use my car. And I connected him with other friends in Bucharest. Mm-hmm. So he could be like with some friends smoking shisha, with some guys going to the restaurant and so on. Then we met again. We met for the first time in person in Istanbul. We spent one day at the like hammam and all these things. And then Davido organized a thing in Marbella. We can say we organized it together.
That's me, yes. If you're wondering who Davido is. Yes. That's my old name, but now I'm transitioning. Yes, you got the idea.
Yes. And I invited Matteo to come there too. Mm-hmm. And that's when we spent a little bit more time together. And then I decided to share my house in Bali with other people. Mm-hmm. And he said, I want to do that for 1 month. And I said, woo, cool, come. So we spent 1 month together, and then he spent more time in Bali. And now, really, he's one of my closest friends. Like, we spend a lot of time together with message. Yeah. We, like, very, very cool guy. Yeah. And Davido knows him too. We are in a mastermind also together. Yeah, we've
been in a weekly mastermind for almost a year. So we had a little break in between, but it's been almost a year now. We've been every week meeting, because this is another. I don't want this principle to slide. When we talk about masterminds, this is not just like, yeah, mastermind, that's cool. This is what higher level people do. We connect with people, and that raises you up, and then you start to build your things together. So like when I'm saying these things, I hope you're getting the lessons. Again, these are not just like fun little stories. This is the pathway to building a great connection, great relationships. And Alex, I found that almost all the good things in my life come from other people. Maybe you feel the same as well. It's like, so it's like, it's that habit of reaching out and connecting. And you do that, like, again, for me, I was naturally not that type of person. I had to like work to take opportunity and do things, and I can hibernate for a year, no problem, without reaching out, but you just have like a more
Yeah, I know.
natural. Yeah, you know. There was a period a few years ago, the only person in the world to have my contact was Alex. It was like one person in the world could reach me. That was it. So it's funny, like, and I just go through these phases, but it's just such an important thing to connect. And I do keep connections with people, and again, I do it in stages. Like, good thing with men, we don't need to hang out every day to be best friends. We can not see each other for a year and a half when we meet up, and it's just like last time. But these are important things about reaching out to people when we have the opportunity, and not being scared, thinking, oh, maybe they don't want to talk to me. It's like, maybe they do want to talk to you. So it's such an interesting thing, and I want to come back now that, like, in terms of the transformation. Unless you want to say something there now on that, or
I wanted to say something. I wanted to say go first. A lot of people are waiting for the other person to do something. Even when you're going to an event and it's a lot of people and somebody's on their phone and you're also on your phone, but you're standing here and they're standing here. And you're just letting the opportunity go past you. Why not go and say, hey man, I'm sorry, are you busy? I just came here, I don't know anybody. I'm Alex. And then you see what happens from there. There's no way to know. That's when we step into the unknown. Ooh, unknown. Ooh, yeah. So that's the thing that maybe you guys want to process is like go first. Go. There's nothing to lose. It's only courage. It's only this self confidence to build, to go and say hi, go and say a compliment, go and say whatever. It's
So-
just what's
yeah.
nothing can happen.
Because now you're on that. So far, you were the stories you gave was like how you can like creatively make connections and other things in different ways. But I want to talk to the story I did put in the title. We're going to come back to the transformation. I'm not going to let that. We're going to build up to that. But the story about how you befriended the king of Bali. That's a fun story. Because one way is like, again, you can just ask. Another way is you can find opportunities and creatively do things. Sometimes it costs a little bit of money, but then you get an incredible story. So do you want to tell that story? I don't know if you're okay to tell that story or.
Sure. I was here in Bali during the pandemic, and I was hanging out with another friend of mine, Dennis, and he says the girl that he's dating is a princess. And I'm like, wow, man, that's amazing. And after a few days, he sends me an invitation to an event, to the Royal Palace. And I'm like, oh shit, man, that's amazing. How many people are gonna be there? And he says, about 30 people. Wow, that's amazing. So I'm invited to the Royal Palace and only 30 people are gonna be there. Wow. I get there and indeed it's this very beautiful lunch, like with white cloth and everything. And Dennis is there, but no princess. I'm like, man, what? There's no princess? I said, no. I broke up with her, but I got here because of Gil, because of this guy. And I knew Gil from before, from another event anyway. It's a beautiful lunch. We connect. There's entrepreneurs, there's local entrepreneurs, there's foreigners, and there's also the king of Tabanan, one big region here in Bali. And we're there discussing how to help the people of Bali get through the hard times of the pandemic. And I start talking with Gil, and I'm asking, how many times are you doing these meetings? He says, no, not so many times, because it's also expensive for the palace to put on this something like this. They have to cook, they have to arrange everything. It's like a cost. And I said, okay, how much is it? And he says, about $1,500 per event, like 1,500. I'm like, okay, I'll pay the next one. I'll sponsor the next one. And he's like, really? Yeah, man, no problem. I'll sponsor the next one. He's so happy. Gil is so happy. He goes to the king, tells the king about this. The king is so happy. So he adds me in a small group on WhatsApp with the organizers, the people actually organizing things, inviting the right people, and so on, and the king and Gil. When the next event was, I think in 2 weeks from then, I get to sit right next to the king, and they introduced me to everybody as the sponsor and the co-host of these events, as in it, they were happening long time before and they will keep happening, but I am the co-host and the sponsor and the what the fuck. So this was the first encounter, and then I got invited to maybe 8 or 9 or 10 more of these things. And of course, I believe a lot in proximity and frequency also. So if I got to meet the king more, of course, there's going to be a relationship. And then his father died, and I was there for the. I was going to the funeral. I was going to spend time with him before, and I know it's very important for people to be there, not only for when they are number one and everybody's cheering for you, but also when they're in grief, or also when they are not good. So I was also doing it because I felt like it's good to be there for somebody, and he appreciated that a lot. So he was also texting me like, "We're doing this thing. Would you like to come? The Prime Minister of Indonesia is coming. The Minister of Tourism is coming to visit. Would you like to come?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm coming." So I went to some of these meetups where there's like 20 people. And it's a little bit uncomfortable for me. I'm feeling a little bit strange, like, what the fuck am I doing here? There's all these, sometimes when an official comes, they also come with a crew, like everybody, but everybody stays outside and just somebody walks in like the official. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Anyway, it was very fun. I am still enjoying all of this stuff. I had a party, Veronica knows. I invited also the king to the party. So we had a home party with music, with like DJ, with live music, with shisha, and with a lot of things. And the king came too. King came to the party. How cool is that?
Yeah,
Yes.
very nice.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
just
that's
find
the story.
it's such an interesting story because that first thing, whenever you heard it, was like, wait, 1,500 and I can be a sponsor? It's like,
Yeah.
that's a cheap story for an incredible story. And then the follow up and all the experiences that come from that. And it's just like, because so much in life as well, the currency of like more prosperous people is stories. I find like stories count for a lot of people. Like stories, it's entertaining. And for me, as soon as you told me that story, I'm like, this is awesome. Like, what a great story. It's just like, it's such a nice thing to how you put it together. So again, small opportunity. Many people could have taken it, but you did take it. And that's the difference. Again, it's like these little moments. Are you willing to step up and just take the opportunities? And the reason I'm highlighting these stories as well is because I feel like connecting with people, it really is such a power to have a good source of network, people who can help you with different skills and knowledge and other things. So I didn't want to get past, like, I want to hear that story, but I didn't want to get past the transformation as well, like that arc of from limitations up to the next stage. Because there were some things you did whenever we met during the challenges. I want to talk about some of these things that maybe you found was interesting for people, about being willing to step up and face your fears a little bit and do some of the prosperity challenges, which you've seen many people go through this transformation as well. Like, we put them through it together and other stuff, and how powerful this is. Do you want to talk about some of the challenges that we gave you at the time,
Yeah.
and how it worked for you?
Yes. I love to tell people from my own experience how it was. Also with the perfect day, I don't want to put that behind because it's very powerful as well. But yeah, for the transformation during the prosperity challenges, I don't think I had so much anxiety or fear when it was about celebrities. But I did have some around expensive cars. I thought that when I will drive a supercar, maybe I won't be able to control it because it's so fast. And I thought when you press the acceleration, it goes into warp mode, like in Star Trek, like how will I ever control it? So well, you said test drive, and I was a little bit afraid of the speed of the car. And I went to Porsche and I asked for a test drive. And the guy said, can I have your license? And he made a copy. And then we went outside. It was a $150,000 car. And we walked around. He showed me a little bit the car, and he told me, best way to understand a Porsche is to drive it. I can tell you all the stories, but it's an experience. He has the key in his hand and gives it to me. And he says, bring it back by 6, please. That's when we close our dealership. So I would like the car to be inside. Please bring it back by 6. And I froze for a while because I thought test drive means the guy sits next to you and you are driving a little bit, and then he tells you like, yeah, you like it? Yeah, now make a left. Yeah, now make a right. Like very grandma style. But when he was like giving me the keys, I was like, okay. So I was looking very professional, like normal. Thank you very much. I got in the car, started driving a little bit, went outside of his visual range, and I was like, I cannot believe it. Who do I call? Like, oh my God, you will not believe it. I'm in the Porsche right now. Look, I'm in the Porsche, in the Porsche right now. I started driving slow, fast, on the highway, all the things. And the most horrible thing that I did, the stupidest thing that I did was, oh my God, I have a Porsche. Where can I go? I know. Where I just quit my job, or like the HP, Hewlett Packard. I'm gonna go, and I have to get something from a friend there. So I'm just gonna use that as an excuse so that everybody will see my new car. In my mind, this was my car already. Yes. So I drove, and the second I started driving inside and I saw people looking at me, I started feeling like shit. It was horrible. It was so bad. I wanted to be a transformer and turn myself into a small fly in Ant-Man. Like, this is done. Fly. Because it's so... no. It's very bad, guys. If you want to do this, listen to an experience from somebody that has done it and don't do it. It's yeah. It's a bad memory I have.
Yeah, and what he's saying about now is it's not about the car, it's about the intention to go and show off is the bad part, not the...
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. The intention of being fake in front of other people, of trying to put them down and to get high on them. Like, oh, look at me, I'm boss, you peasant. Oh, I am boss, but you know, you still work here. I told you it's about freedom and about running away from corporations, but you still here, peasant. Oh my God, this is ha ha ha. So yes, it was bad. That part was bad, but the whole experience was amazing. And I also realized that it wasn't such a big deal to drive this car. Of course, it's nice. It's a beautiful car with beautiful leather and very similar to how I described it in my perfect day. And the touch and the screen and all these things, amazing. But it wasn't such a thing that now it changed my life. Now I cannot get out of this car. No, it was just, it's just a car. Funny how things work. that in 2 years, no, let's say I think 3 years from then, I got my car. I bought a Porsche, not the same model, but exactly the same color
Yeah,
outside and exactly the same
you sent
inside.
me a picture of the Porsche, and I was like, "Why you send me a picture? Okay, I know it's your Porsche, so why are you sending me this?" And he's like, "No, that's the one I test drove." I'm like, "That's exactly the same as the one you bought." And it was the same color, same
Yeah,
style. Like for me, because I don't know Porsche, it was identical to me, and just like holy shit, it's
yeah,
like oh wow, it's exactly like. And it's funny how that just like normalizing it, because I think what you're talking about there, it's like you take things off the pedestal, because sometimes we think it's too big of a thing, but once you normalize something by being around a high level person, by being in a supercar, by being in luxury homes, it stops being such a big deal, and then it seems more achievable, right?
yeah. I think that what happened during the challenges was that I expanded my view of what is possible. I started to normalize things that usually were not really. I wasn't trying them because I didn't think they were possible for me. I thought for me it's okay to be maybe manager or super manager or something, but not to go in $1 million homes. Drive a Porsche. I also drove a Jaguar. I also I was doing all these things. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I want this to be my life. And then with the perfect day, understanding more of what I want, it was a process. And just now looking back at it, I can say, yeah, I did this and I did that and so on. But at the moment, in those moments, I was feeling fear. I was feeling like scared, afraid, all these things about what am I doing here? And also a big motivation for me was to spend more time with you, which was the big bonus
That was the
of
prize.
the
That was the prize.
competition.
So
Right,
what we're
that
talking
was the
about, I don't know
prize.
anything of frame properly, is like during the seminars we did 2 days. This is how we usually did it in Bucharest. We picked a place, and then during the event, people would go and they go to Louis Vuitton and Rolex and all those things. During the seminar, we give people a break to come out. But then after that, I set up a challenge. You will get a mentoring with me session if whoever meets the most celebrities, drives the most cars, sees the most luxury homes, tries on the most watches, and it was all these list of things. And Alex was like, damn, he went for it.
Yeah,
Like I was just like, because especially like here's the thing is like whenever we give people a celebrity challenge, and I want us in the group to do these like every month. We'll start doing that soon, where once a month we'll do like celebrities this month. The next month it'll be supercar type of thing or something. And whenever like I give a celebrity challenge, I'm always like, is anyone going to actually meet someone? You get all these people who have never met celebrities before, and then it's like Alex is like, I think it took like 12 hours or something. It was like boom, and then another picture, boom, another picture. I'm like, how are you even finding these people? Remember in our last one we did, Alex, there was like, I always have the same thought with celebrity challenges, like this is a tricky one. And it was like 12 hours later, this woman who had never met a celebrity in her life sent us a picture, and she was in the living room of a guy that she watches on her favorite TV show, and she was sitting in the living room with him, be like, hey, I'm in his living room. And I was just like what the I was like how does that happen so fast? And all these people just celebrity after celebrity after celebrity, when it was like they had never ever found that. And it was just like for you, whenever you focused on it, it was amazing how much the world opened up, and you were like, again, you just really went for it to win that challenge.
yeah. It's a lot also about intention, um, and I like to think that once we have something in our heart and mind that we want, it's like Moses in front of the sea. It starts to open like this, and that also means the people that don't that or can't help you, they'll get out of the way, and also other people that kind of feel what you need and they are in tune with you, they will want to support you, they will want to help you any way they can. Maybe they want to collaborate, maybe they want to partner with you, but in some way they will help you get where you need.
Yeah, I think it's just been super clear with it and committing to some. Whenever we're going to do it, we just go. And you saw that, like all the people that I've worked with, mentored, and been friends with, and other stuff, I've seen that transformation. It's like it's just this level of commitment. It's like I'm not going to see if it works. I'm going to apply it until it works. It's like this different thing is like I'm
Yeah.
figuring it out. I'm not like, well, I wonder if this. I wonder if this is any good. It's like no, I'm giving it. Like as Veronica said, she didn't question the process. She was just like, I'm doing it. I'm going to go to the hotels. I'm going to go and reach out to celebrities. I'm going to do all the things. And it's just like, and that's the thing. It's such a level of faith. It's almost like in Wallace Wattles talks about the science of getting rich. It's like, this is not, this is a science. It will not fail. Once you know the process and you repeat it over and over again, it happens. Every single person who applies it properly, the result's pretty much the same. But I think there's a process I like to talk about. It's kind of like, we call it the flashes, where it's like we have an internal story about ourselves. Okay, I'm Alex and I work in Romania and I do okay and I'm in the city and all these. And then when that story starts to change, the internal thing, it's like, oh, and now I drive supercars and now I travel and now now I'm a business guy, now I'm an entrepreneur. And do you notice, like, and I've seen this with so many people, like even the mentor, and recently I've been working with people, it's like they get these little flashes of their new life. Like a new friend comes into their life and they hang out in a home that's worth 5 million out of the blue where they've never done that before. And it's like, do you like this? And the world is like, do you like this, or does it bring up like bad feelings inside? It's like, oh, look at him and his fancy house and look at him in the stupid car. It's like, okay, this is not for you. We'll just go away then. But whenever we get the flashes, like the test drives, you meet a celebrity, you do something, a little bit of money comes in, even for €50, you're like, thank you so much for the €50. Oh wow, oh wow, this guy drove next to me in a supercar. That's wonderful. Hey, mister, do you mind if I take a picture inside it? And you start to harmonize because like, oh, you like this? We'll give you another little flash. And it becomes like more normal. Because if we look through your Facebook, it's like, okay, you did a couple little things. Maybe you go and take a little trip. You said you took like 2-3 holidays a year, some nice things. But then it was like suddenly, oh, I'm flying to America. Oh, I'm in a limo. Oh, I'm in the penthouse. The Grand Canyon. Oh, I'm flying the helicopter over this. Oh, it's just like more flashes and more flashes and more, until eventually now it's just like, now it's fully normalized. You look through your wallpaper and it's just like most people, again, as I say, a once in a lifetime opportunity. Your wall is just once in a life opportunities, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And it's like, did you find that process as well? That it just takes a while to normalize, but once you do, then it just like, we almost have to accept it and be grateful for it along the way.
Yeah, I love what you said about the flashes. It's like tuning in, you know, if you want to use this analogy with the radio, like you're just tuning, you're finding the frequency where you're listening to some song you like, and like and then it starts to play and you're like, yeah, yeah, I like this. This is very nice. I like this. Yes. Yes, and what you said also about harmonizing with it. Um, I don't know what goes first. Either you attune inside, you are harmonizing first, like giving yourself love and self confidence, self respect, or there's actions that are calling this thing to come out of you, so that you are normalizing that state. I don't know which comes first,
Yeah.
the egg or the chicken, but
The lady or the man,
I think
whatever.
it's about this. Yeah, I think it's about this. Like how Joe Dispenza says, it's the mind, the heart, mind coherence. So you're just feeling so good about this. So it's like not an excitement. It's more about an acceptance and love of the moment. You know, and it's like a guiding force. I
Yeah.
think that's how the flashes, I can explain them also.
Yeah, and I think it's trying to tap into your, like somebody said the other day to me, it was like congruent wishes, things that are actually like in harmony with your true being. Because again, we can all have like fake. I think there's so many fake dreams, and it could be like, oh, I'd love a Bugatti Veyron, but it's like, but I don't even like to drive, so why would I want a Bugatti? It's like, but you might, like, as you found, because you have a Porsche, you've had it for a long time, but mostly it's not really with you. It's usually other people driving it, because you're on the other side of the world. You've got one suitcase, basically, maybe you have a hand luggage as well. But when you buy something, you get rid of something, so you make space in your bag. It's like a kind of flowing. The Bali lifestyle kind of suits you with that, like just open doors, prosperous vibe, spiritual chill, but everything's just nice. And it takes a while for us to find this, because I remember at the beginning, you kind of, I was telling people to watch luxury stuff on YouTube. Again, I'm not recommending that now, but at the time it was like flood your mind with these things. And I think you were almost thinking I was trying to convince people to want the gold plated taps, all the old like cigars, the fancy stuff, all these. But that's not your style. And that wasn't the point why I was doing it. It was just to change the paradigm a little bit. So do you want to talk about finding
I
your own
remember,
style?
yeah, I remember looking at videos like you said, and looking at Victorian style homes with like these columns inside, and I was a little bit forcing myself to like them. Like, I don't like it, but fuck, David said that this is the way to prosperity, and and then I was messaging you, and I was like, okay, I tried it. I think I got it. I think I'm liking this stuff. And that's when we started to talk about like finding your own prosperity. Mm-hmm. What finding your own rich means. And it's I remember it was also heavy and hard for me to look at this, because I started to unwrap this and like, who am I? I like all these things, but I'm seeing how they were actually planted in me by this movie, by this commercial, from this friend. I want this from like, what do I actually really want? And I remember it wasn't an easy period, this, of discovering what I really want and asking myself like, but what do I want? Who is me in all this process? It was like not easy, but the thing about traveling around the world, that felt very good to me, and that's where I started. And I think along the way, our desires and wishes and so on, they change, and you want to follow that excitement. It's not like, oh, I am going to go there and I know exactly how to get there and it's going to be a straight line. I think it goes more like a zigzag. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I do this. It's like people call it the hoodie wave, because I think life is like that. Sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up, and it moves like this. Maybe like this, like a little bit going higher,
upward trajectory.
Like going upwards trajectory. Yes. And I had down times in my life, but the more courage I had to go after the things I wanted, my comfort zone expanded. It's not like I got out of comfort zone. I just got more comfortable doing more things. And I am enlarging this. I'm still enjoying going on adventures and learning new skills, because I feel that my character, my avatar here in this world is expanding, is growing. It's understanding so much more. And there's so much, guys. Like, wow. You can go so wide, and you can also go so deep into different subjects. I have a very good friend. He's obsessed with James Bond. So when we meet, he has different things from James Bond. We go on different adventures that James Bond. We took a train in Ukraine, a night train. We took a boat in Corfu. We took a plane. We smoked some cigars. Like all these things, because James Bond did it, and it's very cool. I have a friend obsessed with cars, with cheese, with wine. I have so many friends that are going very deep into something. But watches, like crazy. And it's beautiful to see the diversity. And it's beautiful to see how unique we can be in finding these things that we are excited about in the moment. It doesn't mean that all my life I'm going to be excited about Tantra, as I am now. I don't know, maybe I will. Or about learning how to play the handpan. Or, I don't know what is tea. Right now, I'm pretty obsessed with tea. So those are things now in my life. Before, it was traveling around the world and finding the spots that I listed in my bucket list that I want to get to. Then it was about sharing the information with other people and about how I can make this course about Amazon so good. Then it was about us doing that thing together with the Reset Normal and the challenges and so on. Then the NFTs, now with the AI. So there's so many things business-wise, and there's so many other things if we look at life holistically. It's so many avenues and so many things we can build, like communication. Communication is such a beautiful skill to have and to develop in the world. Tantra for me is having great sex and having that bonding, love, connection with your partner. Who doesn't want that? All this stuff that we do about personal development and self-help, of course we want to be like in a better state and to understand more and to connect more. Who doesn't want this? All these things is like so amazing, so many things to learn, so much more to expand. And we have 150 200 years I think on this planet to do a lot of this, to go wherever we want and enjoy this as much as possible.
Yeah. Somebody's just breaking out of the box, breaking the frame, like being willing to test for ourselves what we're all about. Because again, Alex and I, if people know us, we know we have a lot of overlaps, but we have a lot of very big differences also in terms of things. And it's like, we don't need to be the same. That's the thing about it. Like we can, and I like that Alex is different because he's testing one side of the world. I'm testing a different type. And then we're like, it's like, oh, what's he doing? That's interesting. Oh, I like that part. Maybe not that part. And then he's the same. Maybe looking this side. It's like, does that way make any sense? And it's fine to have that, but it's finding your own version and then being congruent with it. Because sometimes people, they can have a different way, and people like again, when I said I could do a year or two in the basement reading every historical law book about the foundation of nations and contract law and all this shit and how it all goes together. For you, Alex, that looks insane. You're like, bruh. I'm like, dude, come on. What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, this is what I'm into right now. I don't care. I got to figure out what the fuck is going on in this place. I want to know how this system works. I want to know how I can be completely free. And it's like, when you're in it, I look like a crazy person. However, when you come out the other side, it's like, oh, I have like a new superpower. And now it's like, I'm like Neo in the Matrix in a way in terms of law. And it's just like, it was my big pain point in life, and now it made sense. So it's like, but you have to have strength in whatever it is you're doing, and with you as well, whatever it is you're doing, like picking your own path and go, and then the courage to go for it. Because even in terms of like the courage, whenever you were just starting to make money, I think you joined a mastermind that cost like almost €100,000 or something, and you didn't even really have all the money at that time. The courage to do that when you're like, fuck it, I want to upgrade my network, and I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna put it all out. Like, do you want to talk about that just briefly before we go on to like trends? I want to talk about that, but just
Yes, it's an interesting story also, because I went to this event in Vegas, and how I got to Vegas is also part of the story. I looked at the recordings of other events that took place there with this crew, and they were asking people in the audience who came from the furthest point. And people were raising their hands, and then they were going to countries and to continents and so on, and they were inviting on stage the person that came from the furthest point, and they were giving them a prize and so on. I saw that it happened before, and I was thinking, I'm in Thailand right now. I could go over the Pacific Ocean, go to LA, and from LA, short flight to Vegas, or I could go all the other way around the globe and get here like 4 or 5 flights, and I would be the one coming from the furthest point. So I was like, okay, that's a good way to uh, get in front in a way, to make a step different than other people. So I did that. I flew the other way around the world, in Dubai and then New York and then Vegas, and they asked us to write on a board, where did you come from and how many miles it was. And I calculated, pam, 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 and went on a board. When I was writing on a board, next to me, it was another guy that came from Thailand, and he wrote a different number because he came the short way. And he said, dude, it's wrong. You put it wrong. And I said, no, I came the long way. Wow, crazy. So first of all, I did win coming the furthest, and I got some recognition, and some things started moving because of this. But also that guy that came from Thailand, that guy was Ben. Ben Ben with his wife had a very successful Amazon business already at the time. And they said, hey, Alex, it's amazing. You came from Thailand. We're coming from Thailand. Would you like to have dinner tonight? And I said, yes, I want to have dinner tonight. And they said, I was talking just with Ben, and he said, I'm bringing my wife, Christina. And I said, maybe I will bring also a friend. And I brought to that table 2 other friends, Vadim and my friend Jose. And my friend Jose, in a few years, not in next year, 1 year from then, decided to create this mastermind that we had to pay $100,000 to be part of. And fuck, Jose, I would love to be part of it. Thank you for the invitation. It's great. But I don't have the money. And he says, it's okay. You can pay $10,000 per month. Deal. Done. So now I'm paying $10,000 per month for this event, for this, just the membership. And then we were meeting in different parts of the world. We were 40 or 50 the top high-level people of Amazon. And that's why I wanted to be in this mastermind, because I was thinking, who else is going to pay $100,000 to be part of this? Somebody that can afford it and can be like, yeah, my business is going so well that I'm willing to pay this money. And it's true. The people I met there were the creme de la creme, the best of the best of Amazon. Next year, a year from that, I organized the first event in Romania. No, it was the second event in Romania. And I invited everybody in that mastermind to come to Romania, some of them as speakers, but some of them I said, guys, I just want you to come, enjoy a few days of Romania. I'm going to bring in also other speakers and other cool people from Amazon. And you'll also be able to talk to hungry entrepreneurs and to people that you can inspire. And I said, inspire them, please. About 30 people came. We drove around. We did a lot of adventures. And then at the event, I didn't have any VIP section. I just wanted everybody to connect with everybody. So my special guests with the people in the community, they were able to bond as much as possible. I saw also there sometimes like a fear of people from the community to just go and talk to some of the super VIPs. Oh, he's making 10 million per year. Oh, I don't know if I can talk to him. Yes, but I put them in the same room anyways, and I think a lot of good came out of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's just like sometimes just stepping up because that helped build your network, and then the moves you made from there, from that network, and you're saying that event, and it's like it spirals because you invest in your community, invest in the people you know, and spend a lot of them on events as well, continually for other people. So, um, saying that, I know we're getting to sort of towards the later stages of this. I want to just talk a little bit about trends before we go on open to questions. Like, what advice would you give to someone, or even tell your own story about spotting trends? Because you've almost become the guy who sees the trends and launches something around that. Because right now you're doing something based on AI, but years ago when I first met you,
Yeah.
it was like Amazon was one of the big first ones. You first sold on Amazon, made that successful, then sold the courses on Amazon, then you did NFTs. Then it's like, so you want to talk about how you find these trends or how you keep them looking ahead for these things?
Yes. Everybody, including my mother, not like a lot of people, including my mother, think that I work a lot. They think, oh my God, he has all these businesses. He is doing the Amazon, the courses, the new thing he's doing with David. He's like, oh, I shouldn't bother him or so on. But the truth is, I work very little. I love to keep my plate free, like empty in front of me. And when there is an opportunity, I like to jump on it. It's an opportunity doesn't mean necessarily that I see that I can make a lot of money. It's something that excites me. It's something that I like how it feels and how it will maybe help me to grow. Maybe it will help other people. It's usually a mix of this because I also left a lot of money on the table in the last 10 years, in the last 9 years, let's say like this, because I think for me, the happiness and the freedom comes first. And I see around me my friends that have made 10 times, 100 times more money than me. And they have, or they had teams, and they were going to the office, and they knew that that is what it's needed to make the empire that they run now, or the empire that they just sold. And for me, that didn't click. I thought that's stupid. I still think it is. But that's my way of thinking. It doesn't mean that it's actually stupid. I talk now with friends and I understand that we are different, that we have different values. And if my first value is freedom and their first value is security, it doesn't mean that they are stupid. It just means that they value different things. So now I see that there can be different, but for me, it's can I do this in a way that it doesn't take from my freedom? That was the most important thing and still is. So left a lot of stuff, left a lot of opportunities untouched, but I did chose those that I saw potential, and I followed this excitement. And I also, because I'm going to this high level meetups and masterminds and so on, I hear people talk about the different things. I listen to podcasts. I read books. I listen to books a lot. So it's like a mashup in my head. I cannot really say, this is how you do it, guys. You have to listen to this podcast and you have to go to this. It's such a mix. It's a blend. And I guess my own personality comes in. I love to teach. I love to connect people. I love to be the host. So a lot of these things have showed up in the businesses that I started or the offers that I made in the last few months, in the last few years.
So what are you on to now? Like, what's the next big trend that Alex sees in the world?
I uh, I started 4 businesses in the last 3 months. This is a moment. This is a period of sprint for me. I feel that I am building. I'm in creator mode. I'm in builder mode. So I am strong. I believe a lot in community. I believe we are living in a epidemic of loneliness. I think a lot of people are missing true connection. And my intention is to build communities online and offline where we really feel this connection. We are good together. I don't know how to say, with different reasons. Some of them can be about business. Some of them can be about growth. Maybe both. uh, David and I are talking about doing a podcast for enlightened millionaires. So maybe that will happen soon. But that community, for example, for me is important. Something like that is important to me. Um, I see AI as a big trend, not only as a trend, but a biggest, like one of the biggest trends that I've seen. We can call it a revolution and whatever. But I see a lot of things changed by AI. Peter Diamandis, a guy I follow, says there's going to be two kinds of businesses in 2030. The businesses that are using AI and the businesses that are out of business. So, of course, I follow this trend and just opened a new community, Einstein in Romania. I'm excited. And another thing I see is memberships. So these communities can be memberships, and I also see masterminds as something that people can be attracted to, like masterminding, coming together, sharing ideas, helping each other. These things are exciting to me. And another thing is pretty similar, but is resorts. Resorts where you go and you are surrounded with people on a similar path, and you do dark retreat, and you are together and you are talking about business venture, and somebody is explaining you about tantra, and you're eating the best food, and you're doing walks in nature, and it's just a way to get you back to your core, get you back to your essence. And that's also something I'm excited. It's recent in my life. Like I'm starting to feel stuff about offline business, which I didn't feel before because I wanted the freedom, the freedom to not take care of them. But now I'm feeling more into this retreat stuff, which I think will come soon in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big into the resorts and things like that. Again, since we've known each other, I've been yakking about resorts. It was a bit too soon before for in 2013 when I was yakking about all these things. Oh, the resorts, this is how everyone should live and have these communities. But now I realize it's like now people are ready for it. Like even the change of like homeschooling with children. Now millions of people are open for that possibility. There's so many different things where my priority now is family resorts. So a family resort in Spain, family resort in Ireland. We build these things, and then once we get that extend to other resorts, like what Veronica's building, what you're talking about building, and other things. So, I think it's a big part of the future. So hopefully everyone got a lot of amazing ideas through here, and we're open for questions now. If anyone has anything else, I know Alex, I could ask you 1,000 more questions about different aspects of life and all the trends and internal, because even your transformation, I hope you'll realize that that was just like a little snapshot of a few pieces. There's a lot more that goes into it, which we try to cover through the courses, through other things to give you the whole picture. But like, I really want to pick on, because I think how you connect with people is just such a valuable thing. If anyone gets that, like, it's such a valuable skill to be able to do that and connect in a way. And I learned from you a lot in that way. So So I'll check the
Mm.
chat. Let me see what we got. Hopefully this updates. Where are we? Daniel says, I resonate so much with this journey, with this quest, finding how my own prosperity looks like. I'm still afraid to step up for myself, to honor myself. Listening to you guys gives me courage and inspiration. Amazing. Yeah, very nice. So,
I'm also inspired, by the way, by the guy that I learned about tea ceremonies from. This guy from US, and uh, he has a school in China for women to develop their creativity and to teach them how to they can get money, not in a masculine way, but in their own way, like such a feminine thing. And he has another retreat in Peru, where it's about psychedelics and ayahuasca and all these things. And here he built this beautiful place only built by bamboo, and it's just a tea house and sauna. He's not selling anything there. It's just a secret place. Not a lot of people know about it. And it's like $500,000 just to build that thing out of bamboo. So these things are very inspiring to me, to see how you can do things differently. You don't have to get the nice watch, the nice suit, the nice house, the nice car, and then pose like this in front of the jet. And that's how you made it. Boss, gangster, yo. It's also about finding what gets you excited and how you can, I like to call it like conduct in a way, not conduct, but flow. Let the money flow where you're feeling that it's good for you. You are just the conductor. It's flowing through you. And that's what I'm tuning into more the last few years. That it's not only about my own desires in terms of, oh, I want a bigger house. I do want a bigger house, by the way, and I think this is great to also allow yourself to indulge, to have the best of the best. Why not have the best of the best? It's so good, this world. Why not make it amazing for you? And then also these crazy things, like let the money flow through you and put them where you want, like a creator of this reality, like a god. Yes.
interesting. Very nice. Yeah. There's so
Yeah.
many interesting things in life we can start building, and that's it. So, um, Sandy says, who is your mentor, Hoodie?
Right now, I don't have a mentor. My first mentor was David, and
Arian
I
David
have.
Rybrook, in case anyone's wondering the actual full name there. Like, it's going to be a while before we brand this. Yeah. But now, yeah, now I guess your mentor is probably like mastermind friends, people with different skills at different levels,
Yeah,
rather
I
than
guess
one
so. Yeah,
person.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yes, I am feeling inspired by people, but I don't have one mentor. Maybe this is something I can think about. Like yeah, I don't have some. I am learning things from different masters. So Tantra, amazing Satyarthi. This David Daniel Love, it's his name with the T. There's different things, but I don't have one. I have multiple for different areas of my life right now.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. So, Vlad says he might not have understood. You organized an event with 100,000 ticket entry. No, he paid 100,000 to be a member of that mastermind. It was his friend that organized that, and he ended up paying 10,000 a month to do that. So, um, yeah, he's wondering, how do you supply enough quality content and how do you sell it? The thing is, at the higher level stuff, people don't really want that much content. You want connections. Like, that's the main thing. You want connection to other people. That's the currency almost higher up. Like, they don't need more podcasts, more YouTube videos, more other stuff. It's more like, again, obviously people still listen to those things and they want content, but it's not the main thing when you pay that much. You want access to certain people. Because, again, one key person in your life can open all the doors you need to the next level that you're trying to get to. So that's why people pay that much, really. So, um,
For example, I'll give you an example in Baby Bathwater group. So we have a Facebook group. somebody says, guys, I have this new supplement and I'm thinking to be on Joe Rogan. Anybody have a contact for Joe Rogan? And then 20 people message him in the comments like, yeah, I've been on his show 4 times. Oh yes, of course. Do you want his assistant number? Do you want his personal? What's like, everybody's trying to help with this kind of stuff. Like, Joe Rogan, if you don't know, is the number one podcast in the world right now. So we are talking that kind of level. We are one person close to anybody you want on this planet. You want to talk to Elon Musk, you write in the group, hey guys, can somebody connect me please? Oh, almost pretty sure it's done. Tim Ferriss, this guy. So of course it's a lot of value in this, but you also need to come with the questions, and you also need to also bring stuff to this party. So if you also bring your own present to this party, it's not like, oh, I'm just here to take, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You pay like 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 a year so that you can mostly help other people. It's like an interesting, but that's how it is. Like it looks like, so you can serve the other, and it almost becomes that way. You just become a habit of you're just serving people, helping people all the time, and then the odd time when you need something, it's like, hey, would you mind just helping me with it? And they're like, yeah, no worries. And that's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, it's so important to know that's the main thing. Sparky Nini says, are there things you learned not to do?
Are there things you learned not to do? That I think not to,
or a stop doing list. I guess that's maybe that.
Yes, I when I was first at my beginning stages, I stopped watching movies. The movies were a big part of my life, and I was watching 2 or 3 movies every night. So when I started on this path, I was very careful with my attention. And my attention was going only to things that I wanted. So my biggest thing that I stopped doing was watching movies, going out with my friends, going out for poker, going out with meetings that I didn't actually want to be in, but were socially, I had to kind of be there. So I stopped all that. And I was focusing only on what I want. Only on like perfect day kind of stuff. That's what I didn't do. And then throughout my life, those similar things started to kind of creep back in. It's not like you do the work once and then you relax. I noticed how I started being on YouTube more. I started to be on Tinder more. Oh, I started to like, and it's good to have self-awareness all the time and to be honest with yourself, and when as much as possible to change the things that you don't want in your life. And sometimes it's not easy, by the way. It's not like I did this thing and I'm this superhuman now. I still have different issues with different things in my life. Yes.
Very nice. Great answer. I love it. Yeah, there's so much of just like cutting out crap that's not serving you anymore. And there's so many things. It's like, it's not cutting out the stuff that you like. It's cutting out the stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you think you like. Well, I need that movie, but you find out when you let it go, that was actually depressing me. It was stealing my energy. It's like, even as we were talking the other day with someone about watching Manchester United, I thought that brought me so much joy. But once I stopped doing it, it was like, why did I ever watch that crap? Some random people I've never met and don't know run around kicking a ball. It's like, I'd rather build my own life. But at the time, I thought that was the main thing in my life. I loved it so much. I'm like, oh, I'm a Manchester United fan. Yay. And now it's just like, I couldn't watch 5 minutes of that. It's just like, I like playing football. I love playing football, but I just like to watch it. It's like, no, I'd rather just build my own thing. So, yeah. I think that's us. So, Alex, I really appreciate you coming on the call. I think there's some incredible stories there. And I hope you see the details within the stories. They're not just telling their stories for the fun of it. It's like there's so many instructive lessons in every one of these stories that we talked about that we can start applying in our life. And in this series of the Money Masters, I want to show the overlap. How so many of us do the same type of things to start leveling up. And once you hear it over and over and over and over again, it's a very clear, simple path in order to create that new version of you. And I just think it's like, Alex, we talked about this before, it's like there's a big giant version of us inside of us, but most of us were buried down with like scripts and low self-esteem and crap and rubbish behaviors. And once we get rid of that, our true being comes out and we just like, it's a brand new life and we float and life is amazing. So I really appreciate you coming on. And where can anyone find you if they want to find you, other than in our group, because you are in our group?
Yes, I'm in the group, but I'm not so often on Discord. Yes, I'm working now on setting up my own website. Until then, I'm on Facebook, and I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Facebook.
If you have been in Peaceful Riches
Instagram
more often, you would have had a landing page, hoodie dot whatever, and it would have been like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get there.
Yes.
So. Yeah. But okay,
Yes.
so if you're on Facebook, you can find him there. I think a lot of you know him already. A lot of you came here through Alex, so I always appreciate he's helped our audience grow. So, but yeah, thanks very much, and we'll see you around many more times. So, great to have you. And that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. I'm seeing the comments. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate all the love, and that's what I want you guys to feel as well. So love for everybody. Thank you very much, Davido.
Take care. See
Ciao.
you later. Bye. The Money Masters, Episode 2, with Arian Rybrook and Alex Huditan. PeacefulRiches.com.